Let's talk more about plasma membranes and how they're used to help cells interact with each other. It almost always involves the glycocalyx. And the glycocalyx is that sugar coat on the outside of cells that consists of carbohydrate chains, glycoproteins, and glycolipids. So it's found in that extracellular space. There are two families of glycocalyx molecules: cell adhesion molecules that act as molecular Velcro, can send distress signals, and even transmit intracellular signals. What is best at transmitting intracellular signals, however, is plasma membrane receptors. They actually take part in a process called signal transduction that utilizes second messenger systems. Second messenger systems create a second messenger, which is where they get their name. They're kind of like a relay race that uses a chemical in order to get a final product. That first messenger or ligand is the chemical that is going to bind to a receptor in the plasma membrane and initiate a series of steps that results in internal processes. Your book shows this relay race, where the ligand, the first messenger, binds to the receptor, and that communicates to a G protein, which activates an effector enzyme, eventually creating cyclic AMP in this example, which is your second messenger. Cyclic AMP is able to activate or turn on protein kinase enzymes that can then do things like add or remove phosphates from ATP, or it can turn on or turn off metabolic processes like opening and closing ion channels. So we're able to get this kind of inside processing just because of a chemical binding to the cell membrane. But let's not forget the cell adhesion receptors, or cell adhesion molecules. Some of those molecules include fibronectin and integrin, which can hold on to proteins in the extracellular space and help the cells stay in a particular area, or even slow down against endothelial cells of the blood if, say, it's an immune cell and it's trying to slow down to get out of that blood vessel. So these are structural components that are really important to cell structure, function, and space saving. Membrane receptors can also participate in contact signaling, where touching and recognition of cells is important, especially in human development and immunity. And chemical signaling, where interaction between receptors and ligands to alter activity of cell proteins is vital for the endocrine system or parts of the nervous system. So there's more to the plasma membrane than what we initially looked at, which was just it being made up of phospholipids and having some other types of membrane lipids. But now that we've kind of finished looking at the plasma membrane, let's move internally and look at the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is made up of the cytosol and organelles. Cytosol is the fluid, really more of kind of a gel-like substance that the organelles sit within. The organelles are the true metabolic machinery of the cell. There might also be some inclusions like pigments, lipid droplets, glycogen granules, some storage inside of the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is located between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. The nucleus is usually kind of roughly center of the cell and is considered one of the membranous organelles, but it's usually left out of a list of membranous organelles because it's the control center. The membranous organelles in the cytoplasm do look membranous. Usually they're flattened sacs of membranes, but there are also non-membranous organelles like cytoskeleton and centrioles and ribosomes that are going to provide vital functions for the cells. So that's what we're going to be looking at next. We're going to be looking at these organelles in eukaryotic cells that allow for compartmentalization, and that's crucial to eukaryotic cell functioning.